lovely Taurians. How are you, Taurus? This is Debs, and of course we're into your reading for August 2025. Now, Taurus, the first thing I saw was somebody stood in warrior uniform, and they had a staff in their left hand, and they were banging it on the ground, and they were simply saying no. And the other person was saying, well, perhaps if we, no. Well, I want to explain no. Well, maybe if no, says Taurus. So guys, I'm not sure whether or not somebody is sort of trying to soften you up a little bit because they want to do something that they may know you're not going to approve of, or they may feel that in your eyes it would be the wrong thing to do. They may, okay, very interesting. Michael showed me a jar of butter that's melting in the sun. They want to soften you up, Taurus, because somehow they need your acceptance, or somehow they want you to say yes. But Taurus, you are very worried about this. Because if you allow this, okay, Archangel Michael showing me the card of the Tower. There's going to be a massive Tower moment for somebody else. Or you're worried that if they do this, a whole situation's just going to crumble. You may say to this person, we can talk about this later, but you're not doing it now. You may say to this person, Taurus, have you thought about the consequences of this? You're determined, Taurus, to push this person back, and for this situation that they want to develop not to move forward, because you're really concerned either that someone else is going to feel upset, unhappy, betrayed, pushed out, maybe, or you're simply nervous, Taurus, that it could create some kind of toxic situation. And maybe, Taurus, you've managed to balance something out. Things are calm. You feel that if you allow this person to do what they want to do, it's going to become toxic again. And I'm really struggling speaking, guys. So, Taurus, you may not know what to say to this person. They may know that you're a bit stuck for words. Let's just see, Taurus, whether or not they're going to agree to not do this. Whatever this is. All right, people. Could be anyone. The deck that I'm using is the Tarot du Soleil. I'm hearing Archangel Uriel, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Sandalphon. The Archangels are with you, Taurus. I'm seeing yellow everywhere. How strange. Now, yellow can represent the sun, enlightenment. There could be a situation here with a Leo. I'm thinking Leo, the sun. Interesting. Archangel Michael's also saying to me that yellow can denote cowardice. Do you feel someone's doing something because they're too much of a coward to face the music, so they're running away from a situation? I'm feeling really uncomfortable. My stomach's in knots. You're very, very worried, Taurus, that if you allow this, a situation's just going to come to a really painful ending. And so you're trying to say to this person, do you not realize if you do this, it's going to be game over for someone? Oh my goodness, what is this, guys? Blimey, I tell you what, these readings for August have been a bit challenging. Let's find out what this is, guys. I'm almost getting an escape energy. This is someone who's saying to you, okay, I've decided I'm just going to go, rather than face the music, rather than, I'm hearing, apologize, they're just going to run off. No, really don't want to talk to that person. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to go. Taurus. You think this is the worst thing that they could have done. You may feel your hands are tied. You may feel, well, you know, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. Let's just see what this is all about, guys. Yeah, they're going to go. Ace of Coins. They're going to uproot and move. They're going to leave. They want to head down another path. They don't want to stay in the situation. Queen of Coins. And there we have you, Taurus. You're looking at this. You're wondering what's going to happen if they actually do this. For some reason, Taurus, you're very stressed about the consequences of them leaving, moving, uprooting. In the past, Taurus, Two of Cups. A lot of happiness in the past. And someone took control. Somebody acted with integrity, an emperor, and did the right thing. Okay. In your thoughts, yes, the Ten of Swords. What you're thinking about, Taurus, is if someone in the mix leaves, another person is going to feel betrayed. A situation is just going to disintegrate. And because you've got this far in mending a situation, because everything now is calm, this is the worst thing that could have happened. It's as if I've only just managed to take control of the situation, or we've taken control of the situation, or everything's now peaceful. Wow, if this person does that, if this person moves, uproots, leaves, it's going to bring us right back to square one again. All of the effort that we put in to mend this, all of the effort that I put in to calm things down would be wasted. That's how it's feeling, guys. And a lot of this is channeled. In the immediate future, yeah, wow. Taurus, Seven of Swords. You are saying to someone, I guess you've been thinking about this for a long time. I guess you have been considering leaving the situation for the longest time. Why didn't you say something before? I guess it's because you knew I'd be upset or angry. You're calling someone out, Taurus. In your fears, the King of Pentacles. You may be fearful, Taurus, of the effect of someone leaving on a relationship. In this person's energy, who I feel is telling you, I'm going. Sorry, Taurus, I'm leaving. Their energy is the Hanged Man. They feel they've been self-sacrificing long enough. They feel, Taurus, that having looked at the bigger picture, they're deciding to just go. In your hopes, the Five of Swords, you're hoping, Taurus, that if they do go, it's not going to cause the ending of another situation. They're not going to sabotage another situation, but you're worried. The outcome, the Hermit, Virgo. You may be speaking to a Virgo about this, or you may be doing a lot of soul searching, Taurus, to try and figure out how to stop this person moving, how to stop this person leaving, because if they do, everything's going to crumble. Clarification for you, Three of Wands. Beautiful. You've been waiting for your ships to come in. You've been hoping for change, which will bring a sense of justice to your life. Okay. Whoever is sat in the energy of the Hangman, feeling as if they've self-sacrificed, they are looking at the past with the Six of Cups. And with the Eight of Wands, they are wanting to talk to you about the past. Maybe that they self-sacrificed. Maybe that they don't see a reason to stay, is what I'm hearing. Underneath the deck, guys, we have the Knight of Coins. I'm hearing, looking at the situation from their perspective, this was inevitable. They were going to up and leave at some point. You may feel, Taurus, that with the energy of the Star, this is someone who's leaving because they simply need to find peace and to heal. And with the energy of the Page of Swords, this is someone who's being very honest with you about that. But this is a difficult message of truth for you, Taurus, because you feel that if this person leaves, if this person moves, if this person uproots and heads off in another direction, it's going to be a disaster for some reason. And I feel this is cryptic. I haven't quite myself got my head wrapped around exactly what is going on here, but we may have a lot of people involved. This could be a family situation. I believe you're sat in the Queen of Pentacles energy. This is your energy, Taurus. You may be coming through as a feminine. We've also got a King of Pentacles, but we've also got an Emperor here. So there may be 3 people in the mix. Let's figure out if we can understand what's going on here. So Archangel Michael, what is the Ace of Coins and the Queen of Pentacles for Taurus? You're looking at this uprooting and moving energy, but what you're thinking about is betrayal, which makes me feel that this is not you uprooting and moving, Taurus. This is someone who's telling you they're leaving, and you're feeling if they do, someone else is going to feel betrayed. That's what I'm getting, but take it as it resonates, guys. 2 of Pentacles. I'm hearing they're itching to go. They're just itching to go. Okay, they're just itching to go. Wow, Chariot, they're just itching to go. They haven't gone yet. They haven't left yet. But you may be worried that they are going to do what they want to do. They're just going to do what they want to do. Despite what you say, is what I'm hearing. Knight of Wands. Okay. It could be that what you're realizing, Taurus, is a younger fire sign is about to make a drastic move to leave. Tell us about this Knight of Wands energy. Okay, they're leaving for a brand new cycle, or they're leaving, Taurus, with a lot of money. They're leaving with a lot of money, maybe, wanting a brand new start. But for some reason, Taurus, you feel that if you allow them to do this, it's going to set the cat amongst the pigeons. And why on earth do I feel as if I've already done this reading? And I don't know who I might have connected to, which sign this similar story came through for. Let's have a look at the past. You were very happy, Taurus. 2 of Cups with your Emperor. Oh, okay. There was a reason I said that, with your Emperor. Or somebody took charge and you were very happy about that. Tell us about the 2 of Cups. Yes, all right. Taurus, you worked on a situation that was fragile. I'm seeing an eggshell, fragile. Maybe you had to walk on eggshells around someone. Yes, you're coming through as the Empress. So you are the Empress, Queen of Pentacles. And I think you're with an Emperor, King of Pentacles. Nice and stable, maybe married. But there might have been a ruckus in your marriage, Taurus, and you managed to calm everything down. The Hierophant in your marriage, that's your energy. Strong Taurus there. Let's have a look at the Emperor. What did the Emperor I'm hearing achieve. What did the Emperor achieve? He achieved moving to calmer waters. So there was something happened in a family situation, something that happened. You two may have collaborated, you and your Emperor, you and your husband maybe, to pull a situation back together again, to mend your marriage, or to calm down a family situation, and you were successful. You were successful. Yes, because this was toxic. This became toxic. But your Emperor, Capricorn energy there, for some of you, your Emperor took charge and everything sort of calmed down because he had a plan. He had a plan. Okay. What you're thinking about, Taurus, is if you allow this Knight of Wands to just take off, is what I'm hearing, then someone is going to be betrayed, is going to feel betrayed. Who are you thinking of, Taurus? You may be thinking of a Pisces or a Cancerian who you don't speak to that often, could be somebody at a distance, or you're trying to keep whatever this Knight of Wands is about to do secret from someone you fear may feel betrayed if they found out what's going on. Tell us about the High Priestess. Queen of Swords. Okay, this is someone who might have spoken a harsh truth before. This is someone who is very guarded, very nervous. She's been hurt. This could have been a family member who felt there was some kind of injustice in the past. You managed to balance this out. But what you're worried about is this Knight of Wands is going to do something impulsive, is going to leave, and everything is going to crumble. You're very worried about this Queen of Swords, High Priestess's response if she found out what the Knight of Wands is about to do. Because with the Three of Cups, you have just managed to reconcile with the Queen of Swords, High Priestess. This feels like a family situation, guys. I've got to be honest. In the immediate future, we have the Seven of Swords. So you're thinking about someone here who you believe has betrayed you. I think this is the Knight of Wands. Male or female, could simply be a younger fire sign. You're thinking to yourself, if this comes out, I'm going to have to express to the Queen of Swords, High Priestess, that she's been betrayed. I'm hearing for the second time. Because, Taurus, even though you've made up with the Queen of Swords, even though everything's now calm, you know, because I think this is her energy, you know that she would feel sort of strung up because she's still somehow sacrificing, right? You may have apologized, or your Emperor may have sorted something out, but you know that this is still a very fragile situation. And you feel if this Knight of Wands takes action to head off with the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot, it's going to cause this Queen of Swords a lot of pain. And you may fear that even though it's not you uprooting and moving, it's not you leaving the situation, I'm hearing leaving everybody in it, she would somehow feel that it's your fault and you don't want to lose her. This could be an older child, Taurus, or your sister, someone you're very close to. So, Archangel Michael, when do we have the Seven of Swords and the Hangman for Taurus? Early September, next month. Next month. Taurus, you are keeping a secret. You know that this Knight of Wands is about to head off. I'm hearing with the family silver, Is this Knight of Wands entitled to a lot of family money that they should have shared, but they didn't? Oh, God, I'm so sick of this storyline, guys. There's something like that going on here. Let's have a look at the Seven of Swords. Yeah, the Death card. There might have been a situation that involved a Scorpio here. But with the energy of the Seven of Swords, Taurus, what you're saying to the High Priestess, Queen of Swords, who is here in this position, what you're saying to her is, this is going to transform the situation. You're trying to package up what this Knight of Wands is doing as something that's going to benefit the Queen of Swords, but she's not going to see it that way. This is you basically saying to this Queen of Swords High Priestess, oh, you know, there's been a big change. This is actually really good news because X, Y, Z. Because it means we can now do this, or it means that we can now offer you that. But what you know to be true deep down, Taurus, is she's going to be stunned. She's going to be floored. It's going to be a tower moment for her. What else are you going to say to the Queen of Swords? Page of Pentacles. You're going to say to the Queen of Swords that because of what this Knight of Wands is doing, uprooting and moving, basically leaving you in it, what you're saying is to the Queen of Swords, but it's good news for you. This is great news. This is going to transform the situation because we can give you a pentacle. I mean, is that something to get super excited about? It's just one pentacle. Taurus, you're basically trying to find a way of softening the blow by making out as if this would be a really good thing for the Queen of Swords. But why is one pentacle so fantastic? I mean, it's just one pentacle, Taurus, right? What are you thinking? We can't give any more than one pentacle anyway, and it might be a way of hanging on to the Queen of Swords High Priestess. You don't want to let this Queen of Swords High Priestess go, I think, because the Knight of Wands has gone at this point. You may be there thinking, well, what are we going to do? We have to hang on to the Queen of Swords High Priestess. We've got to give her something, right? We've got to make out that this is actually a good thing. But she's been self-sacrificing, and she wants to talk to you very seriously about the past. And you know that you've been keeping the secret for as long as you can because you know she's going to feel betrayed. I think you're desperately trying to hang on to whoever this is, Taurus, choosing your words very carefully because you do not want to face losing this Queen of Swords. What are you saying to this Hangman energy? Queen of Cups. I think she's a Cancerian or a Pisces. She could be a Scorpio with the Death card. What you're saying to her, she is the Queen of Swords. What you're saying is, we care about you, or I care about you, and this is really good news for you. You may not think it is, says Taurus, but it means that we can give you a pentacle. And she may be sitting there in silence or on the other end of the phone, not knowing what to say, because the first reaction is going to be betrayal. Oh my God, I can't believe this Knight of Wands did that. She's going to see straight through what you're doing, Taurus, in the nicest sense. I think you're desperately just trying to hang on to this person, but she will feel betrayed. What else are you going to say to her? 7 of Wands. Taurus, be very careful, because this is you being super nice, right? Telling this Queen of Swords, High Priestess, I care about you, or we care about you. We know you've been self-sacrificing. Oh, you know, everything got sorted out in the immediate past. I'm so glad that we're back, sort of reconciled, whoever this is. As soon as she says to you, I can't believe the Knight of Wands did that, I'm angry, I'm upset, I feel betrayed, you're immediately, Taurus, going to go on the defense, because simply this is what you feared. This is what you feared. This is you suddenly very defensive. Well, okay, well, we couldn't have helped what the Knight of Wands did. We're just telling you that we can now give you this. She doesn't care, Taurus. She's just sitting there reeling, feeling betrayed. So however you flower this up, however you package this news, the facts are the Knight of Wands left with the Wheel of Fortune and kind of left everybody in it. You're making out as if for some reason this might be good news for the Queen of Swords, Hanged Man, Queen of Cups, one person. But she doesn't see it that way, Taurus, because she sees right through this. She sees the betrayal. She feels the pain. And this is what you're fearing. Yeah. As soon as she says to you, I can't believe it, I feel betrayed, you're going to realise that whatever you're saying here is making no difference. And with the energy of the 9 of Wands, you're going to go straight into that energy. Oh my God, okay. Yeah, she's understanding what this is all about. Yeah, there's going to be conflict, Taurus. There's no easy way to express the truth to this person. You're afraid this is going to open up a can of worms again. It's going to open up the pain from the past, maybe the betrayal from the past, the injustice. You know it. That's what you've been fearing, which is why you have said to the Knight of Wands, you cannot do this. No, you can't do this. No, I don't care what you say. No, right? And the Knight of Wands is saying, sorry, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Even though they know how it's going to affect this Queen of Swords, High Priestess. And Taurus, you know, this is what you were worried about. Okay, let's have a look at what the Hanged Man is thinking about. This is the Hanged Man, Queen of Cups, High Priestess, Queen of Swords. One person, right? This is going to be heartbreaking, Taurus. She's going to first say, I care about you. All right. Good, a good start. But the 4 of Cups. I'm hearing I can't be part of this anymore. I'm not happy about this. I can't believe this Knight of Wands has done this. I can't be part of this anymore. Maybe she means a family situation. What is she going to do? What is she going to say? She's just going to cut off communication, Taurus. She's just going to detach. It almost feels as if this was the straw that broke the camel's back. This was the worst thing that could have happened. And I don't quite know why. And I think, Taurus, this is what you're fearing. You're fearing you're going to lose this person because of what the Knight of Wands is doing. What are you realizing here, Taurus? Guys, I'm so sorry. It's done. Ace of Swords. This person may cut off from the family. There may not be any further communication. It's done. Because the truth is out. The truth is out. Now, it could even be something like, Taurus, you and your husband reconciling, and then you finding out that your husband cheated on you again, And this is you and your husband talking about the Knight of Wands energy. I can't believe you cheated on me again. And your husband saying to you, Taurus, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. And you're feeling that if your daughter found out that her father had cheated, your daughter wouldn't want to be part of the family anymore. It's as if, I can't believe Dad did that. It could be something like that, Taurus. Whatever this is, it's going to be difficult, Taurus, because you may have to accept an ending. What you're hoping is this news is not going to cause this family dynamic to be sabotaged. It might do. The final card of the Hermit is either you doing a lot of soul searching, disconnecting and thinking about things, or you may be having a really serious conversation with a Virgo, who could be the King of Pentacles, the King of Coins. Tell us about the Hermit energy. The Ten of Cups. Yes, you're talking about a family situation that now is causing a lot of stress. Everything's sort of changed because somebody wanted to win, somebody wanted to sit in ego, somebody wanted to be victorious. And I think it's this Knight of Wands, whoever the Knight of Wands is. And you're looking at this thinking, if this Knight of Wands hadn't have done what they did, we would, or I would, have managed to keep this situation that was difficult in the past nicely balanced. We managed to bring this High Priestess, Queen of Swords back around. We were successful in doing that. What you're fearing, Taurus, is that once the truth is known, everything's just going to disintegrate. And it's because this Knight of Wands, whoever they are, had to sit in ego and feel as if they'd won. This is shadow energy. What are you realizing here, Taurus? Yep, Tower. Tower. What's going to happen after this time? Five of Coins. Okay. Taurus, you may fear that this High Priestess, Queen of Swords is going to simply feel left out in the cold. Or you may feel, Taurus, if this has anything to do with family money, you may feel the only thing I or we can do is somehow manifest a lot of money, similar to the Wheel of Fortune, for the Queen of Swords, High Priestess. So everything is totally balanced out. If this is financial, it may not be. What are you going to do here? Eight of Swords. You're going to think very carefully about what to do. And you're thinking very carefully about a passionate new start. How are we going to sort this out? How are we going to mend this? Because at this point, Taurus, this High Priestess, Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, one person, has completely detached out of heartbreak. I feel betrayed. What is the energy of the Knight of Wands? Yeah. The Knight of Wands simply is sat in indulgence. The Knight of Wands was either greedy, or the Knight of Wands selfishly didn't think about anyone else, just did what they wanted to do. Are you going to talk to the Knight of Wands and say you should mend this because you caused this? What is the Knight of Wands going to say? The Knight of Wands is going to say, well, I'm sorry, I've made my choice. That's it. I'm sorry I made my choice. That's it. The Fool could be an Aries. I don't know. What the Knight of Wands is going to say is, I'm sorry, I'm on a new journey. I've made my decision. I've already left the building. As in, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't want to talk about this anymore. No. So you are not going to get anything from the Knight of Wands. No apology. If this is money, no return of any money. They've just decided to go. What's going to happen between you and the High Priestess? Seven of Cups. Taurus, you're going to try and do little things to bring this person back around to you. You could be sending them little gifts in the post, nice letters in the post, sending them photographs, you know, trying to keep them on board, trying to keep them connected to you. This is heartbreaking, guys. Goodness me. Goodness me. Four of Wands. I'm actually hearing, I'm here for you. We're here for you. But she's not going to believe it, because where's the evidence? Where's the action? Where's the actual support? It's not here. This is just words, Taurus. And you may be feeling stressed because you may think, well, I can't do anything, but be nice, be supportive emotionally, you know, try to keep in contact with this person, because materially we can't support, because the Knight of Wands headed off with a Wheel of Fortune. So we've got nothing left to give. So what you're saying is, we're always here to support you, or you'll always have a roof over your head. You know, it's don't worry. But I think this is High Priestess, Queen of Swords, who at this point is in shock, because they're not going to believe that this Knight of Wands actually did this. Judgment. Somebody will have to face Judgment Day, or a judgment call will be made. Okay, Sag energy. What is the decision that's made? Taurus. Either to look at past mistakes, as in, we have to face Judgment Day for something we did, or we want the Knight of Wands to face Judgment Day for something they did. But Taurus, this is all water under the bridge. I mean, looking back, thinking, oh, we shouldn't have done this, we shouldn't have done that, it's not actually going to help the situation at hand that you've got here. Are you able to do anything else or not? Nine of Swords. No, I mean, this is just, I can't believe that everything just went under. Because somehow of the overindulgence of the Knight of Wands. If the Knight of Wands didn't sit in the energy of wanting to win, if the Knight of Wands didn't want to sit in overindulgence and do something risky, then this dynamic would have stayed intact, but it would have stayed intact. Because of what this Knight of Wands is doing, what you may have to accept, Taurus, is it's game over. Because this Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords is just cutting off. I mean, it's pretty clear, right? The Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, basically that is, it's done. So Taurus, you can save the situation if you can manage to explain the ramifications of what this Knight of Wands is going to do, and explain to the Knight of Wands that if they do this, the family is going to disintegrate. You may already be trying to put that to them, although I've got to be honest, I don't think they care, because they really want this new start. I think, Taurus, that's why I saw the vision of you in warrior uniform with your staff, basically saying no. And this person spluttering, yes, but no, says Taurus. But I want to explain why no, says Taurus, because you knew that if you let this person do this, this would be the result. You knew it intuitively, and this would be the result. So it's up to you, Taurus. What are your powers of persuasion like? Because if you are able to persuade this Knight of Wands not to take this course of action, everything is going to calm down, okay? All right, guys, there's a dog barking outside. I'm leaving it there. Take care of you. And of course, I'm sending love and light your way and many blessings. Bye now.